Can you talk to us a little bit about Primo Pete and any other Latino or Mexican Hispanic dudes that were part?
Pete, we had Primo Pete, Juju Rap, Leonard. There was a number of Latinos that were around that was actually involved in being actual Santana Blocks, because we have we're based in a predominantly Black and Latino area, so it didn't. The name in itself would make it very easy for Latinos to claim Santana Block. Yep, it would make it so. We had homegirls that was Latinas, and we had homeboys that were Latinos, and we also had people like Jab, Poncho, Dopey, Cold Cheese, and Frito, and all these other cats from the CV3. We got along with those dudes. They was right there with us, man. Jap used to come down to my house all the time, chopping up with my dad. Jap was actually a very talented guy. He was really a numbers guy, very talented with numbers. He was a mathematical guy. So, but anyway, so we grew up with those guys. So it was real easy during those times. There's no beefing, nobody getting into it, none of that stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, Primo Pete was a big part of it, because the guys that we had when we got into it, guys didn't know, like my homie Mondo speaks fluent Spanish. So we had people that spoke fluent Spanish in our circle, and the guys that didn't, that came in to be part of the trade, being that business, they didn't know that all the guys they sitting up there talking, they might be talking to themselves, but all the time we know exactly what's being said. So it was never no misunderstanding, and they was kind of shocked when they realized that we were reading we knew everything they were saying. You know what I mean? And it only just made our position more stronger with them. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna tell you something about the Latino people. When you speak their language and you know their culture, they don't care what your color is.
There you go. Facts.
All they care about is can you speak the language? Do you know the culture? That's what they care about.
Yeah. Interesting. Let me ask you, you mentioned, people weren't really beefing. When, in your eyes, when did it go from, just a fist fights to just all out gunplay?
Well, that started in the 70s. In the 70s, we did a lot of fighting. Towards the end of the 70s, things started changing, because you got to remember the first guys, those 70 guys, the 71, 72, 73 guys, a lot of them had started going to prison, right? So that power structure or that leadership was no longer here. So now you got the guys that's in my age group, because I came around in 72, so I was 13 at the time. But then one time, 73, 74, now I'm 14, 15. Now you got a different mindset of guys that was left there to kind of keep things going. So now nobody handed us the instructions. In other words, we didn't have a pamphlet, a booklet, or a set of rules. You know what I mean? The 10-point program was not effective with us. You know what I mean? So now you gotta mimic as you go. You know what I mean? Kind of make it up as you go, and a lot of that stuff just got just taken out of context. Because what we understand today is that we have a great deal more in common than we did not in common. So we failed to communicate. That was the biggest problem. See, because God created us all with the ability to communicate. That is the human being greatest tool we have, is the ability to communicate. But if you don't use it, things can easily get messed up very quickly.
Yeah. One word can mess everything
up. So that's that. Yeah. So, and then you got to understand that vagina plays a big role in that too. See, people don't want to talk about that, but vagina plays a big role. Vagina, a lot of wars, a lot of these gang wars have been fought based on vagina.
Man,
because vagina does. And I don't want to sound too.
No, you are 100% correct. I mean, wars in history.
Vagina would say, "I like you guys today, but tomorrow I'm gonna go over here and hang out with your enemies." So the male ego sees that. So now he's taking offense to that. But vagina is emotional. You know what I'm saying? Men logic and reason. And I'm not saying that all these guys, these Crip guys, had the ability to do it, but what I'm saying, it became convoluted. So now you see the girls that you used to deal with, now you see them hanging out with the dudes that you pretty much got problems with, so that in itself, man, you know what I mean? And I used to tell guys all the time, man, don't let the homegirls know what we're doing, man, because they won't be able to maintain the confidence or hold the secrets that we need them to hold, because especially if they got kids.
Oh yeah, the police will use those kids against them, and they'll just squeal like.
I seen one girl, man, and everybody on the net probably knows her. We call her Crip Crazy, man. Crip Crazy is the only girl that I ever seen from my eyes tell the police, listen, the police was pressuring her. She had 2 kids, and she went to her kids and say, listen, kids, y'all gonna go with these people right now, but when I get a chance, I'm gonna get y'all back. But right now, y'all got to go with these people because I can't do what they want me to do. And she let her kids go. You know what I mean? But she got them back later on. But they actually tried to use her kids against her to get her to talk. But it didn't work. And I'm saying we're not a monolith. Everybody's not the same. Some people just see things in different terms. Most people say, man, that was crazy of her, but she knew what she had involved herself in, and she had to, stick by the code, There's a code, you know what I mean? And if you inject yourself into something and you know what the code is, that's just what it is, man.